Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another Gunpla review, and today I'm taking a look at something a little bit older. This is not a new release by any means, but it's not that old. This of course is the high-grade Cosmic Era Freedom Gundam, a mobile suit that needs absolutely no introduction whatsoever, and this of course is from Gundam Seed. As you can see from the core in the box there, this is from 2015, making it 6 years old now, and that also means that it predates the English translations on the side of the box, so hey, let's get right on to what is inside of this box. As usual, there's the full overview of absolutely everything that comes in here. That is the Freedom Gundam, those two beam sabers, beam rifle shield, as well as a whole bunch of stickers. But before we take a look at any of the accessories or even the Freedom Gundam itself... What was that? Is that a sponsor I heard? Are you looking for a game to play while building your gunpla that automatically does all the work so you have 2 free hands to snip, snap, and build? Then how about a game you've totally never heard of before? Raid Shadow Legends. Use my links below to download Raid yourself to your mobile or your PC. The first time I did a Raid sponsored video was back in October 2019, reviewing a perfect grade that would not raid your wallet, the Perfect Grade Strike. A decent perfect grade kit at a very decent price. Whoa, that shelf was a whole lot emptier back then than it is now. And a lot less dusty. Just like with that Strike Gundam review, Raid's sponsorship has allowed me to check out a lot of older kits that you guys might like to see that I would not have been able to check out otherwise. So all my thanks to Raid for supporting me. And just like that dusty shelf of Gundam kits, Raid does not stand still as it is constantly improving and has developed and changed a lot with regular new updates and content. For me, I just enjoy replaying the game from scratch with a brand new team of heroes just because they look cool, and see how far they can make it through the campaign. Raid recently released its biggest ever update, the Doom Tower. It's a giant tower with 120 floors, a bunch of secret challenge rooms, and 12 seriously badass bosses to take on. On top of that, Raid has also released a bunch of amazing new champions, and there'll be even more coming this month. And with over 500 champions in-game now, there's a champion for everyone. If you want to get a huge head start in Raid, all you have to do is hit that link in the description and you'll get your free champion, Executioner, 50,000 silver, 50 gems, 5 mystery shards, 1 day XP boost, 1 energy refill, 1 clan boss key, all as soon as you get into the game. Just look at this cool champion you'll get for free. You'll find your extra rewards in your inbox for the next 30 days only. It's that easy. Link in the description. So anyway, moving right on into the aesthetics, and there's the high-grade Freedom Gundam out of the box snapped together with a little bit of panel lining just around the vanity area, which is the face and the shoulders, basically what ends up in the thumbnail. Besides that though, this is just one snip off the runners with the God Hand and just snapped together. That is it, so as basic as it gets. And I have to say, this thing still looks spectacular. This really does maintain the Gundam Seed anime flair. They went for a lot of different approaches that keeps this very anime accurate. The colors are very vivid, very nice, but the one thing that really stands out to me is the use of stickers. And I don't mean the fact that it comes with a whole load of color correcting stickers, which is a massive down point. What I mean is, they did not use reflective stickers for the eyes or the head cameras. For example, what we usually get is something like this right here, which is metallic stickers in the eyes which catches the light nicely. Same up in the head cameras. But on this particular model kit right here, they went with flat color. This does give it that very saturated Gundam Seed look. It really does stick with the aesthetic, but that may not be something that you like yourself. In a way, it is a little dead compared to the standard reflective stickers we see all the time, but at the same time, it is very bright and very Gundam Seedy. And speaking of the head on this kit, I really like the way they've sandwiched the parts together. The grey section on what I can only describe as the cheeks really stands out to the Gundam muzzle. This looks really nice. I am impressed. However, besides that though, as for the negative aspects of the looks of this kit, it is a little bit flat without pan lining and stickers. It does require all of these stickers right here, which is quite a lot. Some of these are for on the rifle, some are for on the shield, but we are missing a lot of red from the mobile suit itself. Again, it looks fine without them in my opinion, but if you want it color accurate, it's stickers or paint. The only other real down point to this is the nubs are very classic, as in, they stand out quite a bit. They're big, they're thick, and on some parts like the grey, right here on those side skirtings, those do stand out quite a bit, so snip them at a distance, then file them down to avoid those stress marks, but besides that, simple build, looking fantastic. Moving on. So now moving on to that full 360-degree spin so you can see absolutely every angle of the high-grade Freedom. Again, even though this is a 6-year-old high grade, it does absolutely everything right. The proportions are anime accurate, the colors are anime accurate, the general head sculpt and mold on this is fantastic, and what can I say, besides the fairly prominent nubs on the side skirts, everything is excellent here. Just take a little time with those, and it will be perfect. And as for a quick size comparison, there it is side by side with the standard Revive version of the RX-78-2, beside a Build Divers kit that there of course is Earth 3, well close enough, and beside the real grade Force Impulse Gundam. So anyway, jumping right on back to the beginning of the video to take a quick overview look at all of the things that come in this box. Now let's check them out one at a time. So first off in here we've got a pair of beam sabers. Pretty much standard right here with the pink beams, but the handles, of course, have a little bit of a cool gimmick. First of all, these can be held in the hands in the standard way like you're seeing right here, or these can be attached together bottom to bottom like this, in that kind of Darth Maul lightsaber kind of way. But I will mention, be careful, these are delicate, really delicate. So take a lot of care while attaching them together. When these beam sabers are not in use, you can store the handles on the side skirts, but I will mention this isn't really the best because if the parts aren't snapped together as tightly as possible, well, it won't hold them. And unless you cement these parts all together, it is going to loosen up eventually and these are going to fall out, so not the greatest design here. And to make matters worse, these side skirts are attached via polycaps and, well, they fall off all the time. Anyway, moving along. Next up in here then we've got the beam rifle. This is in 2 shades of plastic, which is grey and white. If you want the blue that should be on here, well, that comes on these stickers, or you could just paint it. There is no stickers for the sight section right there in the front, so once again, if you want that right, you're going to have to paint it. But besides that, this is a very nice looking beam rifle. Attaching the beam rifle into the hands is the standard sandwich procedure. That is, the hand splits in 2 like 2 slices of bread. The handle is the ham, and you can kind of guess where it goes from there. I will also mention at this point there is only 1 set of hands in here, which is the standard block holding hands, nothing else. On the whole though, this is a very nice looking beam rifle. It is a bit of a shame that there is no blue on here because that would make it perfect, but we do have a lot of nice detail. Some of the grey parts come through the white sections, which does look very, very nice, and we do have a side-to-side moving handle up front. Next up in here is the shield. This is nicely color separated, but we are missing 1 piece of red over on this little part right here, but besides that, it's really nice. What they've done with the navy blue section on this is actually quite cool, because if you flip this around to the back, it goes all the way through, giving it a bit more of a color separated vibe. That's pretty cool. As for the attachment, it is just a simple handle. As for attaching it, it's as simple as popping that handle into the hand, and as for the attachment, it is good, not great. Once again, this completely relies on pressure to hold in place. Pressure of 2 parts together, which is the front of the hand and the back of the hand, and if that starts to slip at all, then that shield is gonna fall right out. So once again, I recommend cementing this hand shut, unless you want to use the beam rifle in that left hand sometime in the future. We also have 2 points of attachment for that handle down there and up there. So now moving on to the articulation, and as usual I'll start off with a little bit of a comment on the build. For the most part everything is rock solid, besides these side skirts, which the more you move them kind of, well, work their way off and eventually they always tend to fall. Besides that though, rock solid. So right here we've got your standard double joint giggity giggity goo polycap neck. So there's the Strike Freedom looking all the way down, looking all the way up, and we've got side to side, so pretty much everything you'd want. As for the shoulder joint, that is a standard polycap ball and socket. The polycap socket is aligned to move up and down. So there are the arms all the way down, and there they are all the way up. Full rotation, of course, right here. Full rotation at the upper arm. 2-point bend at the elbow from here to here. And as for the wrist right there, that is your standard polycap ball and socket. Ab crunch here is fairly non-existent. There it is, well, to the front that's more off than anything else. And there it is to the back. So it's strong so it can support the wings, but yeah, no real ab crunch. As for rotation, we've got from there to there. Front skirting armor here is ball joints. There it is, pretty much all the way up. Side skirting's got some up and down, forward, back, but mainly off. And we've got one big old flat, paralyzed butt flap. As for the rail guns on the side skirts, they can fold out just like so, and we've got a fold-out handle on the side. As for the waist mechanism, it's that tilting side-to-side style one. One side moves up, while the other side moves down. So as for the kicks, there's the kick all the way up to the front, which is pretty damn good. But as for around to the back, this is quite limited by that big old flat butt flap. Can it pull off the splits? It most certainly can, but once again, it will never get down on the ground because of that, well, big old flat butt flap. The knee bend is double jointed, so it can go from there all the way to there, so not too bad. And with that foot on the ground at the ankle, we get all the way to there at the front. Not too bad at all. All the way to there at the back. Really good, but does drop the ball a little bit with that side to side pivot, which could be a little bit better. However, we do have some good news because the toe can bend downwards like that. Moving on to the backpack now, and as you can see, we've got that universal 2-hole attachment point. That does mean you will be able to use this backpack with most high-grade kits as long as they have that 2-hole adapter hole. And these wings are crazy expressive. They can move all the way in like this, rotate also at that point like so. And these can also move at multiple points, so they can twist up here, then up here. And we do have that big old gun that can pop out up there as well. So these are incredibly expressive. They're not all separated. This is on its own. These two back here move together. These two also move together. And the gun then is separate, can move up like so, and flip out over the shoulder. So although the high-grade Freedom right here may not be rocking that same over-the-top articulation we see on contemporary seed high grades, it's hard to deny just how powerful those wings look. So although it could be a little better at the ankles, could be a little better at the torso, it still looks phenomenal in a whole lot of poses. So anyway, that right there is it for the review, and although this is a very nice kit, it is not without its cons, so that makes this right here silver tier and exactly what I would expect for a high-grade kit. And speaking of which, this is a 6-year-old kit, so this would have been very impressive back in 2015. As for the pros, it looks fantastic, those wings are incredibly expressive, and for the most part the color accuracy is very nice, and the colors are incredibly vivid. When it comes to the cons, we are lacking some articulation in the waist, in the ankles, and there is a whole lot of stickers or painting required here to make it fully color accurate. But honestly though, it's still a really good kit. If you're thinking of picking it up, I say go for it. It will look absolutely fantastic up with any high-grade seed collection. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to come back for more Gunpla reviews, and I will see you next time. As usual, I cannot end this video without all my thanks to all of you who support me on the channel memberships, as well as over on Patreon, including Craig Jerry, Tyler Sanders, the ambassador for asymmetric cats, Caleb Engelhart, and Sean T.